a whole lot more. So how everything went from the week of Thanksgiving till December 3rd, that's that week that I was talking about, y'all, that I ended up going to grandma's house. Everything was supposed to happen. Me and grandma enjoyed each other's company. We spent quality time together. We took naps at the same time, y'all, because, you know, everything her body was going through and her heart. Um, like I said, it made her more tired. And then me being pregnant, because I was pregnant, that made me tired. So we're napping together. That's why I say we was experiencing the same things, just probably pain tolerance was different. But one of them days she hugged me for so long. Um, and that wasn't like her, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just different. And I reciprocated it as well. And it just made me feel like a little girl again, like, you know, grandma's hugs, one of grandma's hugs. So we ended up going out to get the rest of Thanksgiving food. We had stopped at Burger King. I had turned on Andre 3000. I forgot what the song called, but it go like, I think I'm in love again. Some of y'all may know, some of y'all may not. But when I put that on, grandma was like, dang, I just played that the other day, baby. Like, you know, me and grandma was in sync. We was just in sync, man. So the last homemade meal I made for her was the Thanksgiving meal. It was a Thanksgiving meal. I think the next day or 2 days later, I went back home, and it was like I had missed grandma so much. Like, and I just left. I literally just left the house. I called her when I got home, and she was like, I miss you already, baby. I said, I miss you too, grandma. Like, it was crazy. Like, our souls, the connection. Um, so December 1st, that's the last time I had talked to her on the phone. December 1st, we talked for a couple hours, and she was talking to me about her side of the family, like the women, like the trauma that they went through. Her mom was prostituted by her own auntie to get money at 13 years old. This is my grandma's mama. And then I think her mother, because I ain't trying to get it wrong. I'm not trying to get our bloodline incorrect, y'all. But someone in the family ran a brothel. So it was just a lot that our women went through, you know what I'm saying? And she was just giving me a history lesson. And I listen, like, I like stuff like that, because it's like, this is where we come from. This all the pain that we still carry on in my generation and my baby generation is in the bloodline. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, other people in the family, they may not care about all that, but I did. So, you know, that stuck with me. So that was December 1st. December 2nd, I didn't talk to her that day, but that night she called me and she told me that her chest was hurting. And I'm like, Grandma, mind you, I'm 4 months pregnant at this point, child. So I'm like, Grandma, do you want me to come over there? And she was like, no, it's okay. I'm like, nah, I'm coming. Because one thing about me, if my grandma call at any time of day, I'm coming, period. I don't care what's going on. It could be the littlest thing. I'm coming. I'm checking on you. What's up, grandma? So, man, you, it's like 11:42 at night when she called me. So then I go ahead and get my clothes on, whatever. And then I call my mama as I'm driving, and I tell her, and she's like, she may be having a heart attack. And I just start bawling my ass out, because I just didn't want nothing to happen. Even if that was the case, I didn't want nothing to happen to her. I didn't want to find her. I just didn't want to find her when I got to the crib. Like, I just needed her to be okay. So the phone hung up, and my mama thought that I got into a car accident. Mama, because she was like, I thought you got into a car accident, and then my mama having a heart attack. It was just too much. So I'm like, nah, I was fine. So then I actually get to the house, and you know, I had a key to my grandma's house. So I opened the door, and she's coming out the bathroom, and she had just got done throwing up. She sit down. She telling me she not feeling good. She asked me to call my uncle. I call him. We tell him it's some kombucha. It's like some type of cleanse that you drink to cleanse your system. She said she had drunk that earlier, and I think she started feeling bad off of that. So we looked up, bless you, baby. We looked up the effects of that. But get off the phone with my uncle. I think I called my child's father, let him know what was going on. I told him, she called me, but she didn't want me to come over. He was like, yeah, if she called you for a reason. So I'm like, yeah. So I get off the phone with him, and the last thing that happened was grandma grandma was telling me that her arm was cold, and I'm like, grandma, do you want me to get you a cover? I'm not knowing that she having a heart attack, but I did ask her, like, do you want me to take you to the hospital? And she said no. I said, okay, grandma, we definitely going in the morning if you're not okay. Like, we're going in the morning if you don't feel better. She didn't say nothing, so that means she want to come fight me on it. So that's the last thing that happened. She said her hand was cold, and asked her did she want to cover it. She said no. Now I fell asleep about 1 a.m. I woke up. I don't know what time I woke up, but I saw her get up. Like, I saw her standing up. She was going to lay back down. And I'm like, grandma, are you okay? And she just nodded her head. She didn't say nothing. I didn't know my phone was at the time, and I wasn't finna, look for it. I didn't feel like it mattered. So I don't know specifically what time it was. But then at 5 o'clock in the morning, I got up to check on grandma, and she wasn't breathing. She wasn't breathing. I called my mama. And I told her, and she just wasn't talking enough. Like, she wasn't saying nothing. So I'm like, all right, I'll call you back. Let me call the ambulance. So I called them, and she had let out a long breath. And so that gave me hope. Like, okay, grandma's still alive. Like, okay, thank you, God. She's still alive. But she wasn't breathing regular. You know how we breathe. So then the ambulance, they asked me to pick her body up. And set her on the floor. Lay her flat. Mind you, like I said, y'all, I'm 4 months pregnant. To be in that situation in the moment, I don't even know how I did it. God was with me. That's all I could think of. God was with me. Because nobody was there. I called my mama the night before. I called my uncle. Nobody was there but me. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So as I pick my grandma up and lay her down, her tongue is hanging out her mouth. And her arm is as if it's in a position as if she had a stroke. So they tell me to resuscitate her. Resuscitate her. So I'm doing that till they get there. And they get there, they ask me to leave the apartment. And I just remember a whole bunch of guys coming in, And yeah. So she didn't die with me, y'all. She didn't die with me. But I believe I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to say I cared about grandma more than everybody else, but because of our bond, it was so strong. God appointed me to be there with my grandma um, at that time. God also knew that I was the strongest to be able to handle that. Cause I don't think y'all would ever be able to picture that scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then this is the most important person in your life. Like, grandma was the most important person to me. Like, I go to her for everything. Like, if I ain't had nobody else, that was fine. As long as I had my grandma. And I love all my people. Don't get me wrong at all. I couldn't I don't know how to explain our relationship. But out of all the family, I was the strongest to be able to tolerate what I tolerated and see what I seen. Um, like I said, my mama didn't come. Um, and it was for a reason. Everything happened how it was supposed to happen. Like I said, I didn't know my grandma was having a heart attack in a moment. She was acting like normal or trying to act as normal as she could, even though she was throwing up, and things like that. I didn't know, and I think I was also supposed to be there to just give her peace, let her be at peace with that, you know. Um, that was a lot. Okay, so okay, I said that I think grandma asked God to not let her die alone like granddad, because my granddad, he died by himself, y'all. Um, and God appointed me to be there. God knew how deep my love ran. Grandma trusted me to call me and let me know something was wrong, and I came running. I was her strength, her peace, and her love in her last moments. I seen her get up that one last time in the middle of the night, and I asked if she was okay, and she couldn't even speak, but she nodded, and that was it. Oh, and I forgot that part. I was having a panic attack of my own, but it wasn't about me. It was about my grandma. I was gonna do what I could to save her. But nobody was there to help me. It was all on me, and I did it, scared and all. And that strength that I never seen in myself until that moment. I said that I believe that that was a test of my ultimate strength. Everything I had learned that cycle was put to the extreme test. Test of emotions, test of power, mental strength, all of the important, all for the most important woman in my life. This part of the experience was meant for me and me only, because it's no coincidence that I was the only one that came that night. No one was there to help me. I called my mama. Yeah, I said all that. The timing of events was on God's time. I was the strongest out of all the family that could handle it. God knew and my grandma knew. All while I was pregnant and in my most vulnerable state. And y'all, I want to explain this as far as with the numbers. So basically, that situation happened December 3rd. Now, three is a very powerful number. 3, 6, and 9. It's a video that I'm gonna leave at the bottom so y'all can actually listen to like what it means in depth. 3, 6, and 9. But three, I know that that's like the Holy Trinity. That's the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit, God. So on the third, all this happened on the third. Um, Now grandma was in a hospital for 9 days. Um, she was on a ventilator. Um, she was on all type of stuff, but she was definitely brain dead from a lack of oxygen. Um, so I believe for 90 minutes she wasn't breathing. So like I said, I woke up at 5 in the morning, and that last time I seen her, when I said I didn't know what time it was, I believe that it was 3:30 in the morning. Had to be, because they told me that it was 90 minutes that she hadn't been breathing. So that's the math right there. 90 minutes, the number 9, it means the end of a cycle. 9 plus 0, if you want to do it like that, 9 plus 0 equals 9. 9 means the end of a cycle. That's that 90 minutes. Then you got the third, like I just said. Then 9 days later, my grandma actually passes away. Um, the number 9 again, that's the end of a cycle. The date that she passed was 12, 12, 21. That's those threes and those nines again. 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. 12, that's the month, right? 12. The day, 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. The year, 21, that's 3. You add 3 plus 3, that's 9. That means the end of a cycle. So these are all things that I'm noticing because this is what I'm into. None of my other family members are saying anything like this. Um, and she also passed on a Sunday. That's just, she loves Sundays. That's like her worship day. And it was like a rainy day. She loved the rain. So how I looked at it was like God wanted everything to happen like that. You know, it was just the end of her cycle. 9. That's what I got from it. The hospital scene, them 9 days, it was a lot going on. It was a lot going on. I'm not even finna get into all that. It's too much. Um, but the last time I seen her in the hospital was a Friday. I cried my eyes out seeing her in that hospital bed. She just looked slender. Now she looks slender. She done lost weight. It wasn't my grandma no more, you know? And it broke my heart because it's like, okay, she's still alive. She not able to function because, like I said, she's basically brain dead from that lack of oxygen. And it's like, my grandma was such an intelligent woman, so sophisticated, could have a conversation with anybody. And then you turn around and she can't even speak. She can't move. You know what I'm saying? She can't perform none of her normal. She doesn't have none of her abilities, you know what I'm saying? And my grandma, I just remember telling them, like, grandma wouldn't want this. She always told us she don't want to be in no nursing home. She don't want nobody changing her ass. These are her words. She don't want nobody doing that. So when the doctors was like, you know, she may potentially be brain dead, I'm like, let my grandma go. That was my first thought, because I'm thinking about her, how she wouldn't have wanted to be like that. But whole time, I'm glad that they tried to do what they could to save her, because those 9 days, her children and her other grandchildren was able to get with her, you know, with their mother, with their grandmother. I wasn't necessarily needed in them 9 days. And God told me, like, you did your part. So, like, if you don't want to come every single day or whatever the case is, you ain't got to. You did your part, baby. Like, this is God talking to me. But God was like, they got to be there, though. Her kids have to be there. That's what God was telling me. So, um, let me continue on what I wrote down, though. I feel lonely every single day. However, I understand that this journey is meant to experience alone, and it's not a walk in the park. This is why I barely talk to people. It's imperative that I learn on my own. Grandma always said the best teacher is experience. This is not easy. This is not a game. This is not for the weak. On top of that, the enemy always comes around at the right time. And if you don't know how to handle that spirit, you're susceptible to losing your mind, maybe even your soul. Having faith and knowing that everything is in God's plan will save you some heartache. Being as though we have free will, individuals make their decisions on how they live and ultimately how they die. All in all, it's about loving one another, supporting one another, encouraging each other to do the right thing. We'll be blessed even when we're just doing things, even when we were just doing things from the heart. Um, Another thing that I experienced, y'all, right after that, um, the enemy was on me real bad. Um, the first thing that I noticed was my child's father. When he was like, I came in and I seen him, he sleep, and his hand is like this, like how I explained how my grandma's was, like a stroke position. That was the devil, like, getting in my head to scare me, because that was a traumatic experience for me. um how the devil was trying to get to me again in a different way was, I would be in my room, and it was like a shadow figure of my grandma, but it was dark. It was like a dark energy, and I knew it wasn't my grandma. And it's like the enemy uses who you love against you. And if y'all seen the second Meet the Blacks, um the Hispanic guy, he had said it enough. He was like, the devil will use your loved ones against you. And that's exactly what was going on. And that was going on for 3 weeks. And it's crazy because my mama, she was the one that was like, just pray to God. Like, I know it sounds so simple, like, why you ain't do that? But it was like coming from her, it was just so much deeper and so much more meaning to it. And when I did that, like, that whole shadow like went away, you know what I'm saying? But I had to suffer experiencing that for 3 weeks. Again, the number three, it's very important. And I was just in a vulnerable state. I'm pregnant. I just lost my grandma. Now it's finna be Christmas a couple weeks later. It was just too much going on. Um, I don't know how I got through that. Just by the grace of God, that's all I could say. Now, I wanted to get into the situation of why I had cut my mama off. So I cut her off for 4 months. Now, after grandma passed, we went to her apartment and we just cleaned everything out. All her furniture, whatever paperwork, clothes, all that. We just cleaned everything out. Um, Now it was this picture, a beautiful picture of my grandma that I had never seen, and I sent it to the family. And I ended up asking my siblings, "Hey, did y'all see that picture of grandma that I had sent?" And my mom was like, "Don't nobody want to keep looking at that Walgreens picture." Now, imagine this, her mother. I tried to be cool in the moment because everybody grieves in different ways. Everybody grieves in different ways, so I'm trying to be cool, but I couldn't let that slide. So I think I cussed her out. I told her, I said, this may not hit you now, but it's all gonna hit you at once, baby girl, and you gonna fall flat. And I had owed her like $50. So January, because I wasn't working, right? So January, I got my job, got me a job. My money started rolling in. I sent her 50, and I blocked her. And I was in the mindset of never speaking to her ever again. It never mattered to me, because it's like, your mother just died. My grandma, like, that was a huge part of me that just passed. And you sitting up here talking about don't nobody want to see her picture. Like, what? Excuse me. Like, huh? I don't respect that, period. And it's very disrespectful to me. So I'm like, I ain't even got to deal with this. I ain't got to deal with you. So cut her off. And I think I said in my first video that my daddy had brought us back together, and that was after my baby was born. I was willing to you know, open that door for her. And like I said, we cool. Like I said in the first video, we're cool. I know how to handle her now because I know who she is, and it may change, it may not change, but it hasn't fully changed. It hasn't made a whole 360, but she done came far. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, that was the relationship with me and grandma. Um, Now my child's father, I must have ended okay with the baby, right? Had her, um, not had her, but the baby pregnant. Okay, so now January, I got me a job. Um, Now I'm still basically paying all the bills. Um, the whole pregnancy, like I just paid everything. I was paying for everything, and it was what it was, y'all. Like, I wasn't even looking for nothing from him, because like, if you gonna help, like, you just gonna do it. You gonna give me the bread, or you're gonna send me what's going on. Like, I really wasn't even thinking about him. Like, he was just there. I had went through so much, and I still had so much to accomplish now that I got a baby on the way, and I'm trying to stack my bread up. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I wasn't even focused on him. It was like I had tunnel vision. Like, he was just on the outside. He was just there. Like, I wasn't even, you just here, dude. Um, so from January till May, when baby was born, um, I was, you know, taking care of everything. Then I had let him know, I think in April, like, hey, I can't carry this no more after I had a baby. I'm finna, um, I'm gonna be done with the job like probably a week before I had baby. So I'm gonna need you to like take care of rent. And he was like, okay, cool. So then um June comes because I was able to pay May, but June comes and he not able to pay it. Um, so then I had to figure it out. Um, July comes, I gotta figure it out. August comes, I gotta figure it out. I think we was 2 months behind. Once August hit, we was 2 months behind. We was behind July and August, and I had to figure that out. And I didn't ask nobody for no money. It was crazy. Like God just provided for me. Um, so then in August, I ended up having a dream. I ended up having a dream that he was talking to females, and it was like that was it for me. It was a wrap. I was done. Um, so then 2 days later, I actually, when he was asleep, I went through his phone and I ended up seeing a whole bunch of females, and that was enough for me. Like I didn't have to go through the whole phone and see no pictures, no videos, no other messages, nothing like that. That was enough for me. Just going through his text messages, seeing all them females. I seen a female that was named My Queen. So I'm like, okay, cool. Um, I woke him up. I'm like, okay, so you want to talk to all these females? You doing you? Get your shit. Boom, go ahead. I'm getting the clothes out the closet, throwing it on the bed, throwing it on him. Get your shit, get on up out of here. Now, mind you, his son is living with us, and I felt bad. Basically his son gotta, that's his son, so his son gotta go with him. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I feel bad about the son part, but it's like, come on now, how long am I gonna tolerate this? You're not bringing nothing to the table. You're not doing anything for me. You're not reassuring me things is gonna be cool. Um, you're not showing me anything different. It's too much tension. I'm not happy. I don't want to live here no more. It's just like you're not providing any change, and then you're talking to females on top of this. I'm good. Baby, God sent me a dream. That's how you know that it wasn't for me no more. It's over with. Like our intentions was two different things. My intentions was that things was gonna get good, was gonna be in a good space and have our family. You know what I'm saying? Since we done had a baby together. But his intentions was on doing him, living in his ego, living in his pride. Them was his intention. So God sent that. God said that it was enough, and he let me, you know what I'm saying? He just let me do my own thing. It's time to be by yourself, Erin. That's what he's saying to me. That's what God is saying to me. Like, it's time. You're gonna be fine, which I am. I'm fine. Um, no ill will towards my child's father. Like, I love him. I hope he gets himself together. Like he dealing with a lot of heartache that he never dealt with. That's how I look at it. Like the situation wasn't even about me. It was about what he got going on, what he going through. And it's nothing that I could help with. I've done all I could. Like I've extended my arm more than enough. I done gave out hella money that I could have had to survive off of when my baby now. But it is what it is. I'm not even tripping over that, but it's just the principle. Um so I'm finna read off to y'all. Hold on. Okay, let me read off to y'all the red flags because I just want y'all to, get an understanding through my experience, like how to just prevent all of this. So for him, the red flags was, I met him in a hotel. He was living in a hotel, which, like I said, I don't judge people. Like that don't matter to me. And I told y'all what attracted me. It was his intelligence, the fact that he knew what he wanted to do in his life. And his confidence. I loved his confidence. That's what I liked about him. It seemed like he had a good heart. So I wasn't judging him off of that. But because I was working 2 jobs and going to school, like, I was stable. I had my own crib. I got my car. He had a car too. But I mean, he had a car. But I had my car. Like, I'm basically set. you know what I'm saying? And as a female, if a man don't have that, it's like now you're looked at as like competition. Now you looked at as now he's jealous of you. Now envy comes into play. You know, all these like evil type of spirits. These are spirits, right? Jealousy. I said this in the first video. The spirit of jealousy, evil, competing, like all that, like because the man is supposed to be the provider. He's supposed to be the protector. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to do, not the female. So that's when that comes into play. So that's why you want to make sure you're at least this for the boys and well, my ladies and my guys. You want to make sure y'all are either on the same level or he's higher than you financially. And then mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, y'all want to make sure you're on the same level or maybe he could be higher or she could be higher even. You just want to make sure that they want to reach the same goals as you. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to deal with somebody that envies you. Like don't look at me as competition. Look at me as somebody that inspires you, you know? If I explained that correctly. I hope I did. I hope y'all get it. But that's what it is. I remember in the beginning he was like, I don't need nobody for nothing but some coochie, you know, as a man. That's what he said. So, okay. With that being said, then you don't need me. I should have seen that and left that where it was. He wants to be a rapper. I think he is a rapper. He good as fuck. I don't be wanting to cuss like that, y'all. He good. Like he a good rapper. He just trying to get himself out there. But me personally, I didn't want that lifestyle. I didn't want to like worry about him being on the road and you know all these females is tempting him and he doing this, doing that, and I'm just being okay with that because he take care of me. I'm in a mansion and got all these cars. Like no, like, it's not about the material for me. I need that man for me and me only. You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, I should have just either left him completely alone or we could have just been cool. And then every time he explained to me one of his experiences, it was like somebody was always doing him wrong. Like he never explained his role in it, and that's a red flag right there. Cause come on now, what's the reason that all these people doing you dirty, but you just claim that you ain't did nothing wrong? We all are wrong in situations. So, you know, that was another red flag. Then just in the midst of the 2.5 years, like it was rarely any dates. Like he just showing he don't care about me. He don't like basically don't give a damn about me. So what am I holding on to? Now I want to say this. Spiritually, see, I feel like this was my karmic partner. Because spiritually we just had too many things in common. I wrote them down. Let me explain it to you. I feel like I've known him in my past life. There's too many synchronicities. Both our names are Erin. I'm the female, Erin, Erin. He is Aaron. He's 12 years older than me. So that's the number 3. 1 + 2 is 3. I told you about the 369. The Trinity, you know, that's very powerful. He's 12 years older than me. He had his first child at 22. He gave me my first child at 22. We're very similar, but we're very different. We're very passionate. It was a whole lot of passion in the beginning, and then things just went downhill. His birthday, June 3rd. My birthday, July 3rd. Again, with the 3s. Then we only a month apart in our birthdays. I think them was the main like synchronicities that made me feel like okay, we had to know each other in the past, like cause and then like I said, I'm not the one to just let somebody come in and move with me so quick. I told y'all like within 2 months I let this guy come in and live with me. Like I was that comfortable. Like so I must have did something to him in my past, like whatever we were to one another in the past. I did something like horrible to him because I don't see, it just makes sense to me if y'all get it. And then I also said, you know, I understand it from both sides, like the surface level, as far as I should have seen the red flags and just left him where it was. or like even the spiritual side. Like I understand both sides. Like, but for me, it's like the surface level, it taught me lessons that I needed for this lifetime. While the spiritual side of the situation, it cleared my karmic debt. So now my soul is free from that situation. I don't gotta go through them type of things no more. Um, so that's the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of it. Um, what else I want to say? On the surface level, no, like I shouldn't have let him play with me. That was me, um, just not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to fix somebody, wanting to save somebody. Because I remember being young, I always wanted somebody to save me. Nobody never came, so I guess I turned into wanting to save, somebody. Which you can't save no man. Period. As a female, you can't save no man. I even go as far as saying, excuse me, as a guy, you can't save no female. It's like they gotta want to change for themselves. Like that's just what it boiled down to. Um, I'm trying to think. Is that all I wanted to say? I think that sums everything up, y'all. Hell of an experience for me. Hell of an experience with relationships. I'm so thankful for it though, because now I know what to look for in somebody. I know what to manifest, and I know what I need to be in order to be aligned with what I want. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I just thank God. I thank God for strength. I'm one strong mother effer. Um, thank you, Grandma, for instilling everything in me that you did, for doing what you could, um, for your love and being genuine. And I miss you. Um, I know you doing well. I know you at peace. I miss you too, Grandpa. I want to say that. I ain't forget about you. I know our relationship wasn't as strong as me and Grandma, but I love you as well. And I just know all my loved ones is having a ball, wherever they may be. And just please, I ask that they protect me, if they're able to, just please protect me, and whatever I could do, if they may need anything, help me get that information to be able to take those steps to help y'all in the spiritual realm. And I'm blessed. Um, and another thing I want to say, y'all, if it was all in God's plan for my baby to be here, because I always told myself, like, when my grandma leaves this earth, like, I'm probably gonna like lose my shit. Like, I may lose everything. Like, I may lose my man. Like, I'm just gonna be totally messed up. So my baby most definitely saved me. She just knowing that I had to make sure she was good in the womb and make sure she was good when she got here, that kept me going. That kept me sane. So my baby was definitely meant. I don't regret anything. I'm blessed that I was able to stand on my morals as far as not aborting her. You know what I'm saying? I showed that. See, God, you gotta be like, okay, so you said that you stand for this. Let me see. Let me see if you stand for that. And I'm just thankful that I was able to show God that I do stand for that. I stand on what I say. So that's